Slice of Sci-Fi, Episode 101.
Ignition.
Stand by. From the Draco Vista Studios in Phoenix, Arizona.
All systems stable.
Take one.
They share a brain.
It's Slice of Sci-Fi. Roll sound.
Greetings, fans of science fiction from all around the globe. Welcome to yet another edition of Slice of Sci-Fi. My name's Evo Terra.
I'm Michael R. Menengay.
I'm Summer Brooks.
And I am Tim Adamick.
All right, on the phone with us today, our interview is with Bryan Temmer.
Brian's got an interesting little story here.
He does.
So, rather than us prep it, we've kept everyone in suspense for this long. Bryan, tell us what crazy stuff you're up to.
Well, I am going to attempt to build the very first alien theme park in Roswell, New Mexico, the mecca of the alien phenomenon that has, some say, plagued our country, but I say it's just been celebrated the past at least 60 years. We're coming up on the 60th anniversary this July of the Roswell incident. And I always felt that Roswell needed an alien theme park. So one day, probably about 2.5 years ago, I said to myself, well, why not go ahead and try and build it? So I sent an email to the mayor of Roswell at the time and said, I've got this great idea for a theme park. And he responded back, yeah, sounds great. Let's go ahead and make it happen. And since that time, 2.5 years ago, I've been working on fulfilling that dream and bringing an alien theme park to Roswell.
Now, Bryan, in reality, though, we're coming up on the 60th anniversary, you mentioned, of the Roswell incident, and any smart businessman going to build something needs to know his audience. You realize the aliens haven't been back in 60 years. What makes you think you'll get enough of them coming to your theme park to make it a profitable venture for you?
Well, we're not just going to rely on aliens visiting the theme park. Fortunately, we've got plenty of humans on planet Earth to come and keep the park busy.
Awesome.
We probably have more money than they do anyhow.
Yeah.
From watching Star Trek, they don't have money in the future in outer space.
Well,
so we need to use us.
they use that weird currency, and it's really tough to convert it here on this.
How much latinum to $1?
So now, what are you going to have for exhibits on here? I mean, obviously you're going to go through the incident. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of the speculation on that, but are you planning on extending it out into kind of sci-fi, or are you going to try and keep this serious?
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's not just going to be the research and the scientific aspects of it, although there is going to be plenty of that. It's going to certainly be a celebration of the Roswell incident, but it's also going to celebrate the whole alien culture and UFOs in general. In addition, I would like to have a part dedicated to SETI, the scientific investigation of searching for life outside of Earth. So it's the kind of thing where you can come, if you're a believer, you can come as a skeptic and enjoy just the entertainment. You can also come as somebody that's really not quite sure and make up your own mind once you leave the park. So there'll be certainly something for every single person that comes and visits. There will be roller coasters, there will be dark rides, there'll be walkthrough exhibits, there will be a lot of shows as well, and I'm definitely a lot of family-oriented things because I think that's really critical to the survival of a theme park today, is that you don't exclude any type of audience and that everybody can enjoy and get something out of their visit.
I figure there are three types of people when you come to how people associate with the Roswell event from 60 years ago. There are the hardcore skeptics, there are the hardcore believers, and then there's a much larger population that simply doesn't care one way or the other.
Right.
So, taking that last one aside and taking the hardcore skeptics aside, if you're going to be making a theme park where you're having fun with this whole idea, and I'm assuming that some of those hardcore believers live in Roswell right now, have you had any negative feedback from those who say you're just making fun of an incident as opposed to doing something serious?
No. So far, everybody's been very positive about it because, again, I've always pitched this idea as something to celebrate the event and not mock it in any way. Because again, whether you are a believer or skeptic or even unsure, if you can do it in a fun way where you have an opportunity to display the scientific aspects of it, the fun aspects, and just the uncertainty as well, I think everybody can come away having a good time and certainly not feeling offended or that we're trying to shove any of the ideas down anybody's throat and make them into a hardcore believer. That's certainly not the intent of the park. It's just to have a good time.
So as you're, I notice you're saying you'd like to celebrate the events at Roswell. Are you looking at just dealing with Roswell, or are you talking about going into further events?
The UFO phenomenon
The UFO,
in large.
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely. Starting the focus, of course, is to celebrate because that's the city that it's in. To celebrate Roswell, but certainly it's going to cover all aspects of the alien UFO phenomenon, including, like I said, the search for life outside of Earth. So you can come with the idea, if you're a skeptic, that, okay, nothing actually has happened, but here's an opportunity to kind of engage yourself in what would life be like outside of Earth. There's a whole study about astrobiology and things like that SETI is involved in, where you could actually simulate, use creatively what a world would be like with aliens and explore that as well.
I think you definitely have to take the fun element of that when you start predicting, because if you were to make an exhibit based on the way SETI works today, that would be a great place to put the kids down for a nap. Because that's pretty boring stuff. Yeah, we point the radio antenna out here and we listen to this.
well, yeah, and that's up to the creative engineers and the people that, like myself, that are trying to make this an exciting place, right? I don't want this to be a place where people come to take naps. Certainly we want people to come and be entertained. And one of the flagship attractions of the park that will certainly entertain people is one of the roller coasters, the flagship roller coaster called Alien Abduction, where you'll actually be taken from the Earth into outer space, into an alien craft, transported through space, and have some scientific investigations done on you while you're in this craft, and then return back to Earth, hopefully in one piece. And this is a dark ride roller coaster, kind of like Revenge of the Mummy is like at Universal, where you're combining dark ride roller coaster and varying the speeds of the roller coaster as well.
Now, we're not talking anal probe ride here.
The big sign of all anal activity is simulated on this ride.
No, we're not. This is not going to be a medical experiment on human beings. It will be more of a fun roller coaster, and hopefully you'll leave the same way that you got into the car.
I don't know. I think I'd be more apt to come if there was some.
Mike would like to be anally probed by that.
There we
anyway.
go.
No, here's an idea for you. Brian. I got this. So your alien abduction ride, right? There's a part where it's running outside. Roll with me here for a minute. The people get on the roller coaster, they go through this thing, and when they go underneath the ship for just a moment, what really happens is that the roller coaster that they're on drops down an extra level, but you then shoot out an empty roller coaster out of the other side for all the people in line waiting, right? And then you let the other people off, somewhere on the other side of the park, so that it looks like they were just simply gone. They can't get back. That would be kind of cool.
That would be way cool.
That is a good idea. There are plenty of secrets that obviously they're trade secrets. I'm trying to keep a secret until we get closer to that point, but that is a good idea, and I'm sure you're going to charge me for that one.
If you just simply give me the naming rights, call it the Evo experience, and we'll be okay with that. I'm totally good. How much money? How much money do you need for this?
How much are you willing to give me? Well, I'm trying to estimate very high. I've been told by people that I know in the industry never talk about a dollar figure, but I've already put it out there, so what the heck. I have said $800 million to build it right. That's to build it the way that I want it to be done. And of course, as time goes on, you have to make compromises here and there, but that's what I'm kind of looking at.
Well, now, $800 million sounds like a really large number to me, but then again, we're pretty close to Vegas, and I think the Wynn Hotel cost over $1 billion.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not that much for a theme park anymore. Isn't it terrible?
No, it's not. It's not. When you think about, look at some of the latest attractions, like Expedition Everest at Disney. That attraction alone was $100 million.